What's up, biotech kids? All right, today we're going over your mole quiz 1, your first attempt at that. So we're going to kind of work our way through those and work them out. All right, so hopefully you can see what you did wrong and how to improve. So what is the unit for a mole? MOL. That's easy, right? Step 2, what does 1 mole equal? Okay, so 1 mole, whether it be of anything, is always made of the same amount of atoms or the same amount of molecules, right? Just like no matter what you got a dozen of, if you got a dozen donuts, you got a dozen apples, you got a dozen pens, you got a dozen whatever, there's 12 of them. Same thing with a mole. No matter what you got a mole of, you have the same amount of them. And that is called Avogadro's number. It is a very, very large number. I suggest you just keep it to this. 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. This is like 6,022 million, trillion, something. I can't remember. All right, but it's a big number. What does conversion factor equal? That is 1. Right, so conversion factor is like something you know. So, I got a ruler, right? There is 100 centimeters in this 1 meter stick, right? Or if you know this is a yardstick, there are 36 inches in 1 yardstick, right? It doesn't matter if you write it 36 inches over 1 yard, right? It's still 1 stick, right? Or, 1 yard over 36 inches, right? It doesn't matter, right? It's still 1 stick, 1 yardstick. So conversion factor, your answer to that is 1. Conversion factor equals 1. This and this, same thing. Right? This is an example of a conversion factor. So this is a good example of conversion factor right here. 1 yard, 36 inches, 1 meter, 100 centimeters, anything such as that. 5,280 feet in 1 mile. 12 donuts in a dozen, or 12 in a dozen, 1 dozen, right? So 12, 1 dozen, 12 items or 12 units, 12 whatever, 1 dozen, 1 dozen, 12 units. Those are conversion factors. All right, number 5 wants to know how many moles are in 14 grams of NaCl. So the first thing you need is the molar mass of NaCl. Here's in our periodic table. Handy dandy periodic table right here. We know that the sodium 23 is 23. Just rounding up, keep it simple. Chlorine is 35. There's 1 of each of them, so our molar mass is 58. Is that right? Grams per mole. And that is our conversion factor, right? There's 58 grams in 1 mole. Or, 1 mole has 58 grams. You can write them either way because it's just equal to 1. It's 1 of these NaCl. Now that we got our conversion factor, we start with, all right, we got 14 grams NaCl, right there. I like to use a picket fence. I'll draw my picket fence. Now, I need to either use this version or this version of my conversion factor, right? If I use this version, that would put mole on the bottom. I would run into the problem that it would not cancel my unit. So I need to use this version here because I need grams on bottom. Okay. So how you do this is you multiply the top first, right? So 14 times 1 is 14. Grams and mole. Grams, mole, NaCl. I multiply the bottom, There's nothing here. You can put a 1 there if you want to. 1 times 58 over 58 grams. Now my grams cancel. Okay, so I do 14 divided by 58, and I would get 0.24 moles NaCl. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit faster through the rest. All right, second question, or number 6 wants to know how many moles are in 378 grams NaCl. Okay, so we're using the same conversion factor we used a while ago, right? So we can do 58 grams over 1 mole, or 1 mole over 58 grams. Okay? So if I start with this one, right, I got grams here. I need grams on bottom. So I'm going to bring this one up, right? 1 mole, 58 grams. That's it. Now I'm going to solve. So what you could do, what I do, is you go ahead and cancel the grams. So my answer is moles. 378 times 1, 378 moles. Nothing here, but you can use 1 if you want. 1 times 58, that's 58. So 378 divided by 58 is 6.47. So I just noticed my answer key is not rounded, so I didn't round these numbers on the answer key. So this would be the exact answer. If you rounded like I did, you probably get something a little off. Let's see. You get 6.51. So I would get 6.51 because I did not round. All right, I rounded. All right. Where's my... So 7. How many grams in 589.6? This is CaCl2. All right, so figuring out my molar mass first. Why is that not zoomed in? I don't know why it's not zoomed in. Reflected. If I do oh no. What is that? Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Ca is 40. Molar mass of Ca is 40. The molar mass of Cl is 35. There are 2 of them. Okay, so the molar mass of CaCl2 is 110 for CaCl2. So I can do 110 grams over mole or 1 mole over 110 grams. So I'm going to start 589.6 grams CaCl2. Right? I need grams on bottom. So 110 grams over 1 mole. Cancel, cancel. That times that's 589.6 divided by 110. Again, my answer key is not rounded, but you should get somewhere in the neighborhood of 5.36 grams per mole. All right, moving on. Number 8. Is how many moles are there in 14 grams lead sulfide. Alright, so start out with our molar mass. Got to figure out our molar mass of lead sulfide. PB, mass of PB is 207.2. Mass of sulfur is 32.064. So what's that? 239. Again, this is just rounded numbers, keeping it easy for me up here. So we start out 14 grams. Right? Yes. We're going to put grams on bottom. 239 grams, 1 mole. Right? 14 times 1, oh, and grams cancel. 14 times 1 is 14. 239. 14 divided by 239 is 0. Yes. Right. Number 9. Number 9 is how many moles are in 189.3 grams of MgOH2, magnesium hydroxide. Okay. So first up, molar mass. Mg's 24. So 24. Okay. Now what this 2 means, right, is there are 2 OHs, right? So oxygen, 16, hydrogen 1, 16, 1, right? So you kind of break it down like that. You can say that hydroxide, 16 plus 1 is 17, 16 plus 1 is 17. Kind of go at it that way if you want to. So 17 times 2, 58. So 58 grams per mole. To solve, 189.3 grams. Set it up like this. Grams of magnesium hydroxide, grams of magnesium hydroxide. Our answer is moles magnesium hydroxide. To the top, 189.3 times 1, enter. Divide by the bottom, 58. You'll get something close to 3.25 moles magnesium hydroxide. All right, last one. Number 10, how many moles are in 45.89 grams of cream of tartar? All right. Cream of tartar is KHC4H4O6. Okay. I got 1 K, which is potassium, that's 39. So I got 39, a 1. I got 4 carbons. Each carbon is 12. 12 from 4, 36, 48. I got 4 more hydrogens. Hydrogen has a mass of 1, so 4 times 1 is 4. I got 6 oxygens. 1 oxygen is 16, so 6 oxygens is 96. Right, add these together. You get 188. Right, so start with 45.89 grams KHC4H4O6. We got 188 grams in KHC4H4O6. And I got 1 mole KHC4H4O6. Right? Grams cancel. This times this. Right? Get that answer. Then divide it by this. You get something close to 0.244 mole KHC4 bonus was, what is Avogadro's number? Avogadro's number was that big number we discussed, 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd, right? Which is basically 6 with 23 zeros after it. That is how many particles, how many atoms, how many molecules are in 1 mole. Just like there are 12 things in 1 dozen, there are this many things in 1 mole. All right, see y'all next time.